Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome to the predictions where we have found Kai Sherlock. He is here. Obviously, those of you must know by now we are very good mates. We better be good mates.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, that's good. But we will be doing predictions contests. Hopefully there will be more of these in the future.
Hopefully face to face soon as well.
Yeah, hopefully face to face. Obviously, once we're allowed back at uni. Yeah, well done, government. Anyway, so this is our predictions for the Royal Rumble contest. We expected more matches than this, right? Like, I can't be the only one that's a bit dubious at the fact there's only 6 matches.
Yeah.
I expected either a United States title match or an Intercontinental, and we haven't got either. Instead, I think they're both in the Rumble, which is a bit weird.
It kind of adds a bit more to it, though, does it? I think because if they had a title match, it'd be less likely for them to go on to win it. But the fact that BE is the champion and going into the Rumble gives a slight more, interest.
Quick question for you: when do you think will be the first time they have a mid-card champion win the Rumble?
I don't think they'll ever do that.
You don't think they'll ever do it?
I think they will. I think they will either that or they will be champion and lose the title on the next night. They won't ever have the.
Because obviously eventually they will lose the title to then go on, but I wonder when they would, because they've never had someone go into the Rumble with a championship and leave with the Rumble win. That's never happened. So I think any questions? Have you got anything to say before we start?
No.
Okay, let's get going. So the first matchup on the card is the women's tag team title match, where Charlotte Flair and Asuka, the champions, surprisingly, are facing Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, another team that they don't like each other because yay. So who have you got, Kai? Who have you got?
I've gone with new champions. I think Baszler and Jax will beat Asuka and Charlotte. I think doing that, I think Nia and Baszler, I'm sorry, but they're just not going to win the Rumble. Nobody gives that much of. They don't care. They don't care
about one of them.
Charlotte and Asuka.
They care about one of them, but
Baszler. But they cared about her last year. I don't know if they care about her now. And then with Asuka and Charlotte, I think for me they've got more chance of winning the Rumble. So if they go into that again, if they go into the Rumble not champion, I feel like they've got more of a chance of winning it.
Yeah, I have to say I agree with you. I think Shayna and Nia Jax are winning those tag titles back. Not very often. We haven't had many 2-time women's tag team champions. This will be only like the second or third team to do that, and it's surprising that it's Shayna and Nia as well doing it. But I feel like they hot-shotted the belts onto Charlotte just to give. I think they wanted a way to bring Charlotte back, and they shoehorned her in somewhere they knew they could bring her in. Yeah. And I feel like it was bad timing. I think she probably should have came back in the Rumble. I think that would have been a cool moment But they went with this one. I do think it's going back to Shayna and Nia. I hope Nia. Do you remember when they won the titles and Nia had that really arrogant, like, I won. She was like a child.
Oh, yes. That
character was awesome, but they never went with it. They just decided, because it looked like it genuinely pissed off Shayna Baszler.
It probably did genuinely piss off Shayna Baszler. That's probably the thing.
But I do think the titles are going back, and unfortunately, I do think that is trying to free up Charlotte Flair for the inevitable that will be coming. Either later in the night or later in the year. Yeah. But I do believe that it will be Shayna and Nia, so we don't differ there. Brilliant. No. Then I think probably the easiest match on the card to predict. It is Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. This storyline has been incredible.
Yes, it has been good. Very good.
It's been absolutely. My watch has just gone off, by the way. That's why I'm looking down. I've just turned it on Do Not Disturb. That is so unprofessional.
Is it the group chats for uni?
Unfortunately not. I do think this has been one hell of a storyline. I wonder whether Adam Pearce will get involved. That's
maybe.
Adam Pearce, Apollo.
It's more likely to be Jimmy Uso, I think, that gets involved.
I don't think so.
Do you not?
I think I will get to the men's rumble later. I think he's coming back in the men's rumble.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I mean, that's when Jimmy's coming back.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going with Roman Reigns here. I just think that Roman's character is so good at the moment, and I actually want him to hold the title past Mania personally. I think that right now he's on the form of his life, and I feel like this needs to be shown in front of a crowd. I'd love to see the crowd reaction to this character because it's insane. Plus all the outside interferences, I think, will just get involved. And as much as I love Kevin Owens and I'm on the Kevin Owens hype train, choo choo, get it going. I do not think Kevin Owens is walking out Universal Champion. What about you?
So I actually think that Roman Reigns is retaining the title. Yeah, Roman Reigns. It was obvious. There's no way that. I'm sorry, but there's no way that Kevin Owens is doing it. It almost seems like one of those, almost like a rubber match. To be honest, it's been great, like you say, and the ladder match was incredible. But I just don't care. Like I said to you before this started, I forgot there was any other matches. I only care about the Rumbles. Like because it's so obvious. Well, so obvious who's going to win in one title match. Maybe not the other one, but yeah. So I think for me, Reigns is retaining. Yeah.
I did think at one point Kevin Owens was winning that title at TLC. I don't know why.
And I think that's what the storytelling was absolutely brilliant in that match between them two. That made you think they were going to retain.
And I think we're going to get to that stage again. I do think this is going to be the longest match as set from the Royal Rumbles on the card. I think this is going to go about half an hour. I think this is going to go a long time. There's going to be a lot of interferences.
Well, there's time for it, isn't there? There's time for it. I mean, there's only 6 matches on the card. I know the Rumble's like an hour each. But...
And one of the title matches is going to be about 10 seconds long. Yeah. So... Whichever way it goes. Yeah, so... But Roman Reigns for us both there. Interesting. Yeah. Next up is the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, versus Carmella. Who have you got?
I've gone Sasha because, for me personally, whether Bayley wins the Rumble or not, they're going for Bayley v Sasha at Mania. That's what they're building towards. And I think to take the title off Sasha, it kind of takes a bit away from that storyline because, you know, they've been tag team champions together and then they were both champions at the same time. So to have them building up between Sasha and Bayley for Mania, I think that's what they're eventually aiming for. So yeah, I don't think really anyone sees Carmella as a real threat. It's a bit like Kevin Owens with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Sasha Banks is winning this one, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I feel like, similar to Charlotte, they brought Carmella back at the wrong time. Rather than, I feel like with Sasha, what should have happened is post Bayley, they shoehorned in a big name and just brought someone back to have a big feud. And don't get me wrong, Carmella's been great, but this new character, if she was to come in, she had to win the title, and she hasn't. It
doesn't give any oomph to that character, does it? No. Having her not win the title.
No, and I feel like they should have elevated someone from lower down the women's card. Maybe even give it to like a Natalya, a Tamina. You know, obviously them two did compete for the number 30 spot in the women's Rumble on backstage, and choo-choo. But yeah, so I feel like they should have given it to one of them, sort of thing, and you can build a good feud around that. Like Tamina could have gone in and gone, well, you cost me when you were best mates with Bayley, sort of thing. Natalya is legendary. I just feel like they could have given it to one of those and not wasted the return of Carmella. But unfortunately, it's going to be interesting to see where Carmella goes from here. But I just don't think she's walking away with the title.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this match. And you know what it is. You know what it is. It's the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Oldberg. Oldberg.
It'll happen. It's happening.
Who have you got?
Goldberg. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. No. He is going to squash Drew McIntyre. It happened with The Fiend. It's going to happen again. I'm sorry, it just is. Either that or he wins the Rumble. He's not. The show will either end with him lifting the title, or it will end with him stood tall at the end of the Rumble. That is how the show is going to end. That is it. It's just going to be it. If he doesn't beat Drew, he'll win the Rumble. That is my call, but that's not my thing because I think he's winning the title.
I think Drew McIntyre's retaining, and I feel like this is going with my heart more than my head.
Yeah.
But although I did think about it, and I didn't want to tell you because obviously we talk a lot, obviously behind cameras about wrestling and about who we think is going to win. So a lot of these we sort of knew where we were going to go with these. And I think you knew I was going to go with Drew. I could not go.
Yeah, I did,
But there's one reason why I think it's more. I think it leans to the side of Drew more. They've mentioned this new Goldberg streak for the first time. They've mentioned every time he comes back, he wins. He came back, he beat Brock. He came back, he beat Kevin Owens. He came back, he beat The Fiend. They've mentioned it. And I think that's...
And he's going to come back and he's going to beat Drew McIntyre.
No. I think they've mentioned it to make us believe that Goldberg's going to do it, and then Drew overcomes the odds of Goldberg's big, powerful 50-year-old body.
It's not happening.
I fucking hope so. I will cry.
It's going to be a 2-minute squash match, and Drew's going to hit a Claymore, and Goldberg is going to kick out at 1. It's going to happen. And then that whole build from the Claymore that we've had for years that have knocked so many people out in one shot, he's going to kick out at 1. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, he kicked out at 1. And then spear, jackhammer, and it's all over. That's what's going to happen.
I can't believe you just did that.
Well, you just got to think in your head.
I just can't believe you.
Personally, I can't wait to see Drew McIntyre v Goldberg at WrestleMania.
You're kidding, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do not want to see that, but I want to see that match if it leads to Drew absolutely kicking the living piss out of Goldberg. That is what I want to see, and I don't think we're going to get that Rumble. We'll get that at Mania.
I feel like this is an attitude that has gone across the wrestling world at the moment, and I think we're all sick of part-timers at the moment, and I feel like that's actually going to diminish the returns of people like John Cena, because part-timers in WWE have been so shoved down our throats that I believe I've got an itch on my eye, by the way. That's why I keep blinking.
I'm just crying because you think Goldberg's going to win.
Honestly, I'm close. But I do think the return of John Cena and people like that is diminished now because of the likes of Goldberg and Brock being so shoved down our throats over the last few years. And obviously when Daniel Bryan becomes a part-timer as well, we'll get to him later, we'll obviously, when he becomes a part-timer, it might be diminished because of this. And I do not mind part-timers, and I do not mind them being put in the title picture when it makes sense. And I feel like pay-per-views like the Royal Rumble are perfect for rising people up the card.
Yeah.
Like last year when the Fiend, obviously I know it was at TLC, but when the Fiend faced the Miz, it raised the stock of the Miz a lot. And they could do that with so many more people, but they choose to shoehorn in people like Goldberg, who will probably win the match. And
was it the Royal? No, it was Saudi. Wasn't it Saudi show that he beat Fiend?
Yeah. I can't. Because
there's no crowd in there for him to boo the homes down. It's gonna.
Yeah, but they just don't care about what we say online either. Like they just don't. They just don't care, and it's so bloody annoying. But yeah.
By doing that though, it gets Drew over massively as a face because everyone hates Goldberg.
Yes, that's why he should win.
And that's why he's going to win.
Because I just feel like I don't want Drew to become a 3-time WWE champion in 1 year.
Yeah,
that's the issue I have. Is this is why people breaking Ric Flair's record means bugger all nowadays, because we know it.
Don't they?
Yeah, they just shot the title everywhere, and it doesn't. They don't like if Drew had not lost to Randy and had kept the title all the way up to here, like. It would feel more like a big deal, whereas because Drew...
Can you imagine if Drew held the title all the way up to here, and then it's Goldberg who beats him and ends that?
I think I wouldn't watch WWE again.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. The fact he's lost to Randy Orton almost softens the blow a bit for when he does lose.
Right, let's get away from Goldberg. Let's just kill him away.
Yeah.
Right. So next up, I'm going to leave the men's rumble till last because I feel like that's the most open rumble out of all of them. I feel like we've got the women's Royal Rumble is the next match we're going to talk about. Now, the only announced... see where you realise where they have gone wrong on WWE's website. These are the announced names, okay, for the women's rumble. Shayna Baszler, Alexa Bliss, Peyton Royce, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Tamina, Liv Morgan, and Ruby Riott. Where's Natalya?
Oh yeah, she's 30.
She's 30, and I did check the WWE's website, and she's not on there.
Surely Natalya and Tamina are going to be in there as well. That's going to be two more.
Yes, no, Tamina is on the list. Tamina's on the list, but Natalya's not.
Sorry, I just brushed over Tamina.
But those are the only announced names for the Rumble. Now, I think we've discussed previously, and I think the whole world has discussed, there are only 3 people who can win this match, right? Viably win it. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Bayley. Which one of those 3 have you got? Because no one else is winning it.
I haven't.
What?
I've gone with a surprise one.
If you go for Charlotte, I'm going to kill you.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Alexa Bliss is winning the Royal Rumble.
Really?
Oh, my Alexa's just gone off. I'll just mute her while we talk about the person.
I've got an Alexa over there, but she's muted. Don't worry.
Alexa Bliss is winning the Rumble.
How?
Yeah.
I'm interested to know how
because they built like a monster. How can they eliminate her from the Rumble? They're back to himself into a corner again, I think.
Unless she enters as Funhouse Bliss.
I think she will enter as Funhouse Bliss, but it'll switch. And I think that's how she'll win it.
The way I wanted to, I don't know whether you saw my video on how I would, no, because it only just came out, of how I would have people win the Rumble.
I haven't watched it yet now.
Yeah, so that came out, I managed to release that late last night, but in that video, I pitched, if we were to do pitches, this would be my pitch. I'd have Alexa win it, and I'd have Bayley as the last person. I'd have her throw Alexa Bliss over the top rope, and as she throws her over the top rope, lights go down.
Oh yeah.
Lights come back up. Yeah. Alexa Bliss is behind her. Eliminates. It's a finish that can only be done without a crowd. Yeah. So I feel like, why not do it now? Because you're never.
I thought you were gonna say.
What?
Bayley throws Alexa over the ropes, and she just levitates, and she just doesn't. She just doesn't hit the floor, and she just floats back up, and and Bayley's like, "What's just happened?" And then that's it. She's done. That's what I thought you were going to say.
No!
What were you going to say? Bayley just throws Alexa over, and then she levitates and then goes back.
The lights go down. I'm not. How are you going to get Dynamo to come in and dress up as Alexa Bliss?
No, there's no crowd there, so you could just edit her. You know, can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you just edit on Adobe? Just Alexa, just rising back. Really poorly cut out as well.
Oh,
so you've got all the electronics in the background.
Almost like the Paper Mario game, sort of.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh no! So if I was to have Alexa win it, that's how I'd have it. Yeah. Because Bayley, then imagine the character of Bayley for the next few months being, I am the true Rumble winner. I know I threw her over the top rope. I know I did it. I know I did it.
That's why she goes for Sasha.
Yeah, she can run with the character of I'm the uncrowned Royal Rumble winner.
Yeah.
Bayley would be amazing at that.
Yeah, she would. Yeah.
Speaking of Bayley, that's my pick. I'm going outside here. I feel like everyone's saying it's between those 3, and no one's picking Bayley.
No.
And everyone's going for Rhea Ripley. I do believe Rhea Ripley will be in the Rumble. But I believe she'll come out reasonably early.
Yeah.
And I think either Bianca's breaking the record for the most eliminations or Rhea's breaking it. I don't think they want 2 people to have the same record.
No.
Which at the moment is obviously Bianca and Shayna.
Yeah.
I believe Rhea and Bianca they'll be fighting it out for the most eliminations. I think there'll be a standoff between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. I believe there'll also be a standoff between Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler if they want to go with it. And then obviously you have Rhea then go up to the main roster. I just don't think. I think they'll want to build her up. I just don't think they'll give it her. Bianca. No, it's between Bianca and Bayley for me. I went for Bayley because Bayley lost on SmackDown.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I believe Bayley will win the Rumble. Bianca will come out and be like, well, I know I can beat you. And then the whole feud from now until Mania is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair.
Right, okay.
For who faces Bayley. Now, I don't care which one wins that, if I'm honest. If Bianca wins, what a match. If Bayley wins, because then if Bianca won, you'd have Bianca beat Sasha, Bianca beat Bayley at Mania, and then she's beaten both of them. But I do believe it will be Sasha and Bayley at Mania, and I think that they will do it by Bayley winning the Rumble and being quite arrogant the entire way.
Have they had a heel win the Rumble yet for the women's?
So, can you class Charlotte Flair as a heel last year?
No, I think
she went for Rhea.
Yeah, true. Actually, they have had it. Oh, was it a heel turn though? Was that? I can't remember.
Because it was Asuka, then Becky, which was an amazing, one. Apparently now my watch is talking to me. So you had Alexa, now I've got my watch. And then it was Charlotte, but technically she was a face at the time. Just everyone's sick of her, so she's a constant heel.
Yeah.
But I think it would be the first proper heel from the start of the match to the end of Bayley. That's quite reminiscent of the men's as well. I think it was the 4th year, I think, was when Ric Flair won it? Or was it the 5th year Ric Flair won it?
Potentially.
Was it 93 or 92 Ric Flair won it? One or the other. But it was either the 4th or the 5th that the first heel won it. And I think they're going to almost be reminiscent here. I think Bayley's going to come out towards the end as well. I think Bianca's going to come out quite early, same as Rhea. And then I think it will come down to the end and Bayley will be more fresh, and I think that will be the storyline a little bit more, because I think Bayley will eliminate Bianca towards the end, and then because the whole feud has been Bayley's jealous of Bianca. So if Bianca eliminates someone like Charlotte or Rhea, and it's like, oh my god, and then Bayley just goes whoop,
over the top,
that would be brilliant. Who do you think's gonna have the most eliminations in this one? Non-official prediction, just
someone like Nia.
Really?
She's not like most girls, you know?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But no, I genuinely think, because they're booking Nia in a sense that especially if she wins back the tag team titles, because then she's alongside Baszler. I can't believe she is, but in that tag team, she's the muscle. When you look at, she's like the strong powerhouse in the tag team. When you look at between her and Baszler, and that shouldn't be the case. Baszler's an MMA fighter, but anyway, I think someone like Nia, because, well, to be honest, I think Nia. I think
Nia's getting eliminated by Lana, mate. I think they'll do it. She's
gonna throw her so high she levitates and flies through a table.
What? Yeah. With levitation?
Because they can do it. They can do it. There's no crowd. There's gonna be a string attached to Nia throughout the whole, and she's just doing dangling from the ceiling.
Oh my god!
When Lana just goes like that, she's just gonna fly through a table.
Oh my god! Right. Yeah,
that's what's happening.
I'll go for my pick on most eliminations. I think they're going to have Bianca break it. I think they'll want Bianca to have it on her own.
Especially to make her a credible threat now.
They'll have her as like the women's version of Kane that just constantly gets the most eliminations. I think that's what's going to happen for the next few years for Bianca, and I don't think she'll ever actually win the Rumble, but I think she'll always get the most eliminations just to keep her strong. Iron Woman, which is an interesting one because we do not know number 1 and 2.
Iron Woman. I thought did they swap it round on backstage?
They swapped it around on backstage.
Okay. 1 and 2. Who are they trying to build as a credible threat on the women's roster? Someone like Carmella, maybe, because that's maybe where she does lose against Sasha. Then she's still seen as a threat. I don't know, maybe someone like that. It needs to be. There needs to be, because there's always someone like a Finn Balor or a Brian Danielson. That's his actual name, Daniel Bryan, in the men's.
Well, Natalya currently holds the record for the longest, and she's actually number 30. Yeah, but
Tamina's coming out one, and she will last the longest time.
Imagine. I would love it to be. I think the Iron Woman will be Alexa Bliss, because I think she'll come out early as Funhouse Alexa, and then just never get eliminated. She always just slowly keeps herself in.
It's just come to me. Best idea ever.
Not another levitation.
No. She comes down quite early, like you say, as Firefly Bliss, gets eliminated, and everyone's like...
Comes back as...
And then comes out later on as Firefly.
People are suggesting they'll do that with Bray, but I think that'll be in like a couple of years' time.
Yeah,
I think they'll wait.
They'll do what they did with Mick Foley, won't they?
They'll wait a few years for that, because obviously the Fiend's return is going to be massive when it happens, because he's been away and burnt to death. Speaking of the person burning people to death, of Randy Orton, we've got the Men's Royal Rumble. Now, Randy Orton is number 1, voice break. Randy Orton is number 1, Edge is number 2 in the Men's Royal Rumble. The rest of the participants are, as announced, are AJ Styles, Big E, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, Bobby Lashley, Jey Uso, Cesaro, The Miz, John Morrison, Otis, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Mustafa Ali. Now, there are also people that are on the poster that are not announced. As in Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin, likes of those boys. Those boys, ooh!
The ones that no one cares about, but they're on the poster.
So, that's complete track. I do believe this is one of, especially if the likes of Jimmy returns as well, one of the most star-studded men's rumbles we've had for a while. Yeah. And no real legends going into it as well. Like, usually you have the likes of like John Cena. Like, remember when Shinsuke won it and you had like John Cena, Randy Orton, you had all the old boys and then the new boys. There's a lot of like a mix here, but they're all full-timers at the moment. Goldberg, stay the fuck away. But this is one of the most star-studded rumbles I think we've had for a while. I think it is. And one of the most open ones as well. I can name so many that could win. Randy, Edge, AJ could win it. Big E could win it. Daniel Bryan could win it. Sheamus would be disappointing, but he could win it. Cesaro's been talked about. Technically, I think this person more than the other one. Jimmy Uso. I think is an outside pick, because like, what a way to elevate Jimmy as well.
Can you imagine if he did win it?
I would go mental. I'd love it.
I think I'd be very underwhelmed. I think if he does win it, Goldberg, Drew's on last.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't you want to see Jimmy Uso after the Jey Uso stuff? Wouldn't you want to see Jimmy be torn? And
I suppose, but not by him winning the Rumble, I don't think. Because if he wins the Rumble, it's obvious which character he's going for. He's not going to go, I'm going to go over. I suppose he might, though, because he might align himself and try and take over both titles.
That's why I think Jey Uso is also a really credible choice, because imagine if he won it, and then he's like, Roman's like, go on, win the other title, because you could either have Jey turn on him, but I've mentioned before, if Jey turns on him, he has to win the title. You can't have Jey lose twice.
It's a bit like when Enzo Amore was against Big Cass, and Big Cass turned on Enzo, but Enzo just got battered every week, and no one saw him as going to be Big Cass. So it was a bit of a.
I think if Jey Uso was to go for Roman, he'd have to win it. But if Jey Uso went for Drew, then you could have the whole storyline and build more between Drew and Roman, which I think is still brewing a little bit.
Yeah.
And you could have obviously Uso fail him, and then you have like the whole "you're bad because I'm head of table. I like tables. You bad.
You lost.
You lost. You lose." And then obviously Shinsuke Nakamura is another pick as well. But who have you gone for in this one?
I've actually gone for Edge.
You thinking he's going to go from start to finish?
So I had that exact same thought, but while I was eating my soup, while I was having my lunch this afternoon, I thought, Edge. I thought Edge and Orton, when I just saw the news, I was like, oh, Edge and Orton definitely aren't going to go the distance. How long was their WrestleMania match last year?
40
It was
minutes.
it was about an hour, wasn't it? 40 minutes. And that's how long a Rumble is. So he can go the distance if needs be.
And
that was
in a
much more
Rumble,
brutal match than a Rumble.
You don't need to do as much wrestling in a Rumble.
That's what I mean. So I think for me, Edge is going the distance. Edge is going over to SmackDown. To SmackDown. He's winning back his title at Mania. That is what's happening.
You just wanted to pick Edge so you can shoehorn your little pitch in that Edge is going to bring back the
No, I genuinely think Edge is going to win. Not that I've actually backed him on Paddy Power to win.
No, because who did you back?
What do you mean?
Who did you back on Paddy Power?
Edge.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, but I put Goldberg in the last 4.
Oh no, I betted on Goldberg to win, mate.
Yeah. Did you back Goldberg to win?
If that fucker's gonna win, I'm gonna earn money by it. Right? If he's gonna win, I need to earn money. Some sense of good.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, for me, I think Edge will go the distance, and they'll have that mini match between Orton and Edge, where someone comes in, they'll work together, eliminate him, and then they'll go back at it, and that's what it'll be for probably the first 10, I think. And I think they'll go back and forth, and then Edge will eventually eliminate Orton towards the end. They'll both go right towards the end, I think, and then Edge will eliminate Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that might be. I know this goes against your women's Rumble pick, but I do believe that's where Baddie Alexa's going to come in, and I think I think we're going to see Funhouse Alexa in the women's Rumble, and then I think we're going to see Baddie Alexa because she doesn't have a name. Let's be honest. We're going to see Baddie Alexa come
Levitating Alexa.
Yeah, Levitate Alexa come in the men's Rumble and help distract Randy for Edge to eliminate him.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then that builds the feud between Randy and Edge. It keeps it basically brewing while Randy's dealing with the Fiend, and then you can go back to it at a later date.
Well, because there's reports come out this week, isn't there, that there's going to be a Firefly Funhouse at Mania with Orton in it.
Yeah, as soon as he burnt the Fiend to death, I had a feeling this was going to Mania. As soon as that happened, I was like, this is going to Mania.
Yeah.
I believe what they're going to do, which I hope they don't do with Goldberg and Roman at Mania, I believe what they're going to do is they're going to rehash their initial plans, but with Edge and Orton at SummerSlam.
Yes.
I think they're going to just do it a year after when they plan to do it, and then have a massive build to that. And this is a way to get to that, I think.
Yeah. Would you say Edge would be champion by that point?
Yeah.
After the draft?
Yeah. You have Randy.
Do you think he will win the title before he retires again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think we'll give it one last run.
I think he's one of the only ones that can come back. Similar, actually, to someone that I mentioned for the Women's Rumble, who I don't want to return yet, but Paige. I would love Paige when she returns. Fingers crossed when she returns.
Yeah.
And she has a story like Edge, like Bryan, that she wins the title again. And that's because I think there were certain people when they return, they deserve that. You know, Bryan returned, he deserved it. Edge returned, he deserves it. And same with Paige.
Yeah.
They're not that old either. Edge isn't even that old.
No, he's not. No.
I think that he deserves one last run. I really do believe he deserves one last run. And
I think that payoff will be at Mania. I think what a story that would be for him to be, for him to go on and win the match that he returned in last year, then go on to win the title at Mania. I think that is the WrestleMania story, isn't it? It's the miracle on Bourbon Street or whatever they called it for Daniel Bryan, and it's that kind of like.
Well, he's someone we haven't really mentioned. Daniel Bryan is a potential winner for this match. If I'm honest with you, I'm sitting here recording this video. I still do not know who I'm predicting for the men's Rumble.
Well, no, neither did I, but I was just forced to go with a choice, so I went with Edge.
I'm sitting here and I genuinely do not know. I think, personally, I do not believe it will be Edge. And I don't believe it will be Bryan. I'm picking Bryan, but I don't believe it will be Bryan. I think they're going to go completely left field.
Maybe.
But I don't know who they're going to go for, because I feel like they've pushed Edge coming out in the number 1 and 2. I think that's a red herring to say Edge isn't winning it.
Yeah.
But then Edge to get towards the end and everyone go, oh my God, they're going to do it. I believe Bryan's been shoved down our throats too much.
Yeah.
As in, they've been pitching this as this is his last chance, this is his last chance.
Yeah.
And I think this could result in that. I think he won't win here, and that's going to result in a downward spiral where Daniel Bryan doesn't really know whether he has it anymore. That classic storyline.
Yeah.
Later down the line, he wins the title and stuff like that. I'm going to go with Bryan though. I think it's the safe choice, and
last time we checked, he was booking our favourite, wasn't he?
It's joint. It was joint the last time I checked between Bryan and Edge.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Joint. Oh, so I checked yesterday and I haven't touched it since because I'm staying away.
That is on Paddy Power, by the way. That Sky Bet still has Bryan as favourite.
Right.
But on Paddy Power, it was evens between the two of them. I haven't checked. I've just checked. The only thing I have checked is my cash outs for obviously my bet.
Yeah.
And I betted before SmackDown the winner of the Men's Rumble would come in number 1 and number 2. So that has shot up incredibly after Edge was announced as 1 or 2. Yeah.
You fucking bugger.
I thought they were either going to have Bryan I thought they were going to have Bryan come out in like number 1 or 2, go pretty much the entire way and get eliminated. But I think they've reversed that and having Edge go all the way to then get eliminated. But obviously because it's one of the favourites, it's made the bookies panic. So my cash out is like £4 off a £2 bet. It brings back about 18 quid.
So, obviously, we don't encourage gambling.
No, gamble
responsibly. We are 18 years of age or older.
I am 19, so.
I'm 19 as well.
See, exactly. We're above that. So, when the fun stops, stop. Just remember that.
When the fun stops, stop.
But remember, if you do win, it's a great feeling.
See, the fun never stops, Colin.
Exactly. I just condoned gambling. Brilliant. But who do you think is going to get the most eliminations? And obviously the Iron Man in this one as well.
Most eliminations, I think Orton. will have most elimination. And Iron Man, I think will be Edge because I think he'll go from 1 and he'll win it.
I did have AJ. I think we discussed previously. I had AJ as the Iron Man. I thought he was going to come out with number 1 or number 2. I thought he was going to have a similar run to CM Punk.
Yeah.
In like 2011 was it when he just sat in the Rumble and just kind of
spoke on the mic.
Yeah, berated everyone and I believe Omos will get involved so much in this match.
Yeah.
And keep AJ in it. But I do believe now Edge will be the Iron Man. Most eliminations, I'm going to go with Keith Lee. Again, that's another bet I had. I had Bianca and Keith to both get the most eliminations in their respective matches. Another 18 quid there. So, yeah, I believe Keith will do it. I believe Keith will get a lot of eliminations. And I only believe that because I think previously he had a massive chance of winning it. He isn't even announced in the match. He might not even come out.
He will.
But I think with Keith I think he was one of the favourites. Then he faced Drew and now he's not one of the favourites. I think with Keith I think they want to keep him strong. I think they've got a lot of plans for Keith, just judging by their booking of him. So I think keeping him strong would be by having him get a lot of eliminations.
Can't forget about Keith.
You cannot. You can't forget about Keith. You are right.
Here's a question for you, Connor.
Yep.
How do you think Kofi Kingston will avoid elimination this year? We haven't discussed this.
He's got a broken jaw. He's got a broken jaw.
That's how he's avoided elimination then, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he's just not going to enter.
I did not know that.
He's got a broken jaw. He could return here because a broken jaw doesn't last too long in terms of... but... because obviously Mustafa Ali's in this match.
Because then I could see it would be a nice angle, Kofi and Big E.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to have all the New Day in there.
Yeah.
And obviously they haven't met in a while. Because obviously the Mustafa Ali things, where he's jealous of Kofi for obviously taking his place in the Chamber match when Kofi Mania was a thing.
Yeah.
Really nice storytelling there. It's a shame it's with Retribution because I feel like if it wasn't to do with Retribution at all, it would that feud would be one of the best. But I feel like just no one cares at the moment about these boys, unfortunately.
No.
I believe the person that's going to avoid elimination, I think they're going to give it back to Jomo. John Morrison. I think they're going to give the Manta back.
Could be.
For this,
briefcase.
Yeah, for this year, they could like do a little thing there, which would be nice. Obviously, I think in the women's rumble, obviously Naomi had it the one year, Casey Catanzaro had it another year. I think there's a lot of athletic women in that match.
Oh yeah, like that.
Pretty much most of them could do the weird spot.
Because there's gonna be a spot, there always is, isn't there? There's always like an athletic spot like it. It's just what they can do this year, because it happens every year. So you want to do something different, don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe they levitate out of the ring.
I think that's just.
And that is the athletic spot.
I think that's the cue. I think that's the cue where we.
Let's end it there.
Let's end it there. That's the cue. But thank you so much for joining me, Kai. Obviously, we do differ on 3 of the matches there, so there is 0 chance of us drawing. Really, let's be honest. Unless both of us predict both rumbles, to which if that's the case, then we're geniuses. But thank you so much for joining me, Kai. Is there anything you want me to plug? Obviously, all of your social medias, your YouTube, your TikTok, your Twitter will all be in the description down below. But is there anything you want to plug?
No, I don't think so. I'll probably, by the time this is going up, I'll have a video out as well, brand new on YouTube. So it's hopefully going up tonight anyway. That's what I'm going to do this afternoon. I'm finishing everything. So it's taken me long enough, but yeah, hopefully it's
just a bit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, only a week, 2 weeks late.
Luckily, you got it in before the end of Jan, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was a month ago today. I put on my last one out, so.
But yeah, so please check out Kai's content. He is an incredible creator, and I'm not just saying that because he's here. He is obviously a great friend of mine, but also a great creator as well. If you want to see more stuff like this, do hit the like button. That would be very much appreciated, because we're both excited, I think, to do more stuff like this. Hopefully, at some point when we can all be with each other, we can do live reactions as well. But obviously, we can't at the moment. We'll just be live.
Fingers crossed for Mania.
Oh, imagine, mate. Both nights of Mania will be knackered.
I know, but we'll do it. We'll do it.
But yeah, so please hit that like button. Comment down below any of your predictions, whether you agree or disagree with me and Kai. You'll probably disagree with me more because you hate me. Anyway, if you're new here, please do subscribe for more content like this, and to not miss a thing, obviously, please do subscribe to Kai as well, even though he's got more than me. Wanker. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Kai, for joining me on this, and I shall see all of you guys in the next video.
Goldberg! Goldberg!